Today we're starting our second ever FIFA Mega Career. Just like the first one, I'll be playing one season in every FIFA game, with each career mode being linked by our manager. We'll keep switching clubs, but this time we're going to be directly competing against both Pep Guardiola and Jose Mourinho to see who can win the most trophies in the next 10 years, and we'll still be trying to break at least one record in every single episode. Going back even further means this should be an even more fun series. We'll try and recreate some massive transfers, we'll have AI teams and managers moving around like they did every single season, so it'd be a really cool way to experience some of these games for the first time in a decade. Our journey is going to begin today in FIFA 10, and as a new up-and-coming manager with no experience, we're going to begin by taking over AC Milan. Why AC Milan? Well, look at this set of best players. Pirlo, Nesta, Ronaldinho, Gattuso and Seedorf are all FIFA legends, but we'll only be managing them for a single season. Make sure you subscribe and comment where I should be managing next year on FIFA 11. Our career will be a manager that we've just created called Florentino Toscani. We've randomised the name and you won't get to see what they look like until FIFA 17, but our young Italian manager looks destined for greatness. His first task is picking a sponsor for the coming season. Let's go ambitious and be going for the highest paying brand. We have two massive rivals in the league this year. Jose's Inter and Zaccheroni's Juventus are going to push us hard if we really want to become the champions. I love Klaas-Jan Huntelaar, but it's clear that if we do want to be first, we're going to need better players. These days £45 million doesn't seem like that much money, but back then this is actually a really nice budget. It's enough to do something crazy in fact. Welcome to AC Milan Zlatan Ibrahimovic. With Ronaldinho, Pirlo and Pato there to assist him, the record we're trying to break today is the most goals in one season. Higuain got 36 5 years after the season we're about to play, and that's what we're going to try and break. As well as Zlatan, we'll need a couple more signings if we're going to compete in Europe. While we do have a massive squad, half the team is over 30 years old. We don't really care about that, we're only here for 1 year, so let's sign 36-year-old Roberto Carlos for Fenerbahce. He sounds like he could become a really good player in the future because, no joke, he would actually go on to get upgraded in both FIFA 11 and FIFA 12 before he retired. With Pirlo and Roberto Carlos in the team, we are going to be so dangerous from free kicks. I have to say, I didn't actually remember how many legends were still playing back in 2009. Who would have remembered that Beckham, Makelele and Perez were all still playing, or that Jack Wilshere and Neymar were both active this far back in time? In fact, with our last bit of budget, let's sign both Wilshere and Neymar, or at least try to. Thank you to this 14-year-old forum post that let me know shortlisted players will never accept your transfer deals, because I thought I was going crazy. Anyway, the team is now set up for the next 10 years. Let's start our season with both Wilshere and Neymar in the starting 11. They actually played pretty well, and as we expected, AC Milan get some nice early wins. We didn't have to wait long for the first massive game of the season because before the transfer window even closes, we have a season-defining game against Juventus. Of course, our team has a lot of classic legends, but there's a lot more modern legends in the Juventus team, Chiellini being a big one, of course Del Piero, Diego if you're a slightly older football fan, but none are as good as Ronaldinho, and it seemed like all three of our Brazilians were totally up for this one, including young Neymar. His cross was headed in by Ronaldinho, not the kind of goal you'd probably expect him to score, and definitely not the kind of celebration you'd expect him to do, but we're happy with the 1-0 lead. Amari and Diego and Del Piero is such a cool combination of attackers, but the whole first half was basically Ibrahimovic and Ronaldinho. He had a good chance there, but of course Buffon at this point is one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Caceres heading the ball away there just before Ibrahimovic had another chance to get yet another goal, and Ronaldinho couldn't quite get past Giorgio Chiellini, the absolute rock at the back. Ibrahimovic could though, and he held off Caceres, tried to go round Buffon, chipped it over him, but only found the side netting. We really should have made more of the chances that we had. Amari then hit a corner in, and their centre-back would score. It's super annoying to concede a goal like this when you've had so many good chances from open play, and you could tell that this changed everything for Juventus. All of a sudden, they've got their attacking playmakers like Diego diving into tackles, and you can tell that they want a second goal. They want the home win against one of their biggest rivals. At half-time, you can see the stats were heavily in our favour, but we had to get that second goal. I thought Jack Wilshere had actually got it right here by winning as a penalty, but when Pirlo and Carlos are both out, Ronaldinho's an okay backup, but he's not going to score many free kicks from that kind of range. We made a triple sub because our players were starting to get tired, and all of a sudden, we were getting back on the ball in the box yet again. Ibrahimovic having a couple of chances right there, but everything was getting blocked by Chiellini or Caceres. Later in the second half, there was another attack for Juventus, and this time Amari was getting on the end of the cross rather than delivering the corner. It was nothing as annoying as playing Italy back on FIFA 10 when they had Luca Toni and also Amari up front. You could hoof crosses in, and you've seen exactly why people used to play in that way. But after 7 games, we're 3rd in the table, which we can't argue about. We are still getting used to playing this game, and I could tell as I played more and more of it, I got used to some of the features that definitely should be on FIFA 24, including that one right there. You saw we were upgrading staff and upgrading our stadium, things like that. And also, I actually kind of do prefer the way that youth players work on this game. I'll show you who we found in a minute, but they're actually really good. We're going to skip forward a few months right now into the middle of winter, where we were playing a game against Sampdoria. If we could win this match, we would actually go top of the league. But we did find something pretty interesting. Right then I tried to roulette with Neymar and he couldn't do it. And that's when I realised he only had 2-star skills. Is that possibly the worst thing that FIFA's ever got wrong? I'm not totally sure. Surely Ibrahimovic can't get this wrong though, trying to chip the goalkeeper and it's been saved just wide. But this was when we actually figured out how to attack on this game. Neymar played through Ibrahimovic. He did a pretty pointless ball roll, then finesses it past the goalkeeper, and all of a sudden we know exactly how to score. The goal record is about to take off, but also our defensive record is going to improve because we've learned how to tackle too. Thiago Silva actually being really good for a 21-year-old defender. Ibrahimovic again showing that we have learned how to actually shoot with a bit more power, not just one-on-ones. And it was this game where I started to actually have a lot of fun playing FIFA 10. If we were going to keep having fun though, we had to beat Internazionale in our next game. Of course, the Milan derby is huge. We play at the same stadium. They have Jose Mourinho as their manager. Of course, one of the managers we're going to be comparing ourselves to the entire mega career, see who can win the most trophies. So this was a massive match. It's going to be quite a while until we get to play against Inter again, so this is a really good time to close some of that gap. We're 4 points behind them halfway through the season, so if we can win here, it'll just be the single point. Inter Milan have a ton of legends in their team as well. Diego Milito, Samuel Eto'o, even Mario Balotelli, who had the first chance for Internazionale right there, was a super hyped striker. Of course, Ronaldinho's our most hyped player, and he got injured after just 12 minutes. Walter Samuel smashing into him. And that's exactly what Walter Samuel's in the team to do. Zlatan Ibrahimovic is in the team to do this. But of course, Inter Milan are way too defensive and they get the ball out of play. They foul us on the edge of the box though. Pirlo steps up and hits the crossbar. That would have been such a good free kick from one of the best free kick takers of all time. We couldn't quite make anything of the 6 or 7 rebounds we had afterwards either. Lucio here, stepping out of centre-back, and he's found Samuel Eto'o. Of course, one-on-one, Eto'o you wouldn't think was going to miss it, and somehow Abiati keeps the ball out of the net. Diego Milito steps into the box, he's got Stankovic out wide. Balotelli at the back post, he's missed 2 headers from that exact same position, so maybe Balotelli needs to work on that if he wants to be good enough going forwards. Ibrahimovic with the pretty interesting shoulder dribble right there. Pirlo's got a ball out on the wing. He's not really a winger. He's not got too much pace. And his passing wasn't good enough to find Ibrahimovic either. And that's a bad pass from Ibrahimovic. But Pato gets it. He's 1-on-1. He's never missing that. What a cool finish that was from the 20-year-old. He's now 88 rated at 20 years old. He really was the Mbappe of 2010. A really cool thing about FIFA 10 is that you can basically kill the game if you just keep fouling and fouling. The AI isn't very good at free kicks, so you can proper play like Neil Warnock or Sam Allardyce, getting the fouls in high up the pitch where it doesn't really matter, and you can kill the game off that way. Gattuso tried to find Ibrahimovic, and that would have definitely killed the game off, and our last chance came from Pirlo. Edge of the box. This time, he finds the net. Free kicks might look a little bit easy on this year's game, but I can promise you they are actually quite tough to score. But I was very proud of getting this one. Pirlo over the wall in the rivals to win us the match, and this meant we're just 1 point behind them with half a season to go. The annoying thing was, though, that every single time we would win a match, Inter Milan would also win a match, so we'd never quite catch them up. We'd win a match, they'd win a match. If we lost, they'd also win a match. Inter Milan were almost unstoppable in this career mode save. In the Coppa Nazionale, the Italian Cup, we lost in the semi-final to Juventus, so that meant with just 2 games left in the season, we could only do one thing, and that was to stop Inter Milan trying to win the title. We couldn't quite catch up with Inter Milan, no matter how well we do, but if we look at the table, Udinese still can. If they win their last game with enough goal difference, they can overtake Inter Milan. So that's exactly what we're going to try and do. If we can beat Inter Milan by more than 1 goal, then Udinese, if they win, will be the title holders of Serie A. But I mean, Inter Milan's team is still just as good. I don't think they've actually signed any new players. One of our new players, of course, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, unfortunately didn't really get anywhere near breaking the record. We got him to 22 goals, which was pretty impressive. But yeah, we could get nowhere near 36, unfortunately, this year. Maybe we'll come back for this record in the future. But anyway, into the match now, and this was so important for the city of Milan. If Inter win, they win the title. If they draw, they win the title. And if AC Milan can win, then potentially Udinese win the title instead. It's going to be an absolutely amazing final day of the season. So Inter Milan on the attack, Milito crossing it into Etu. Abbiati's been a pretty solid player to see. He's only 76 rated all season. Ibrahimovic has been alright, but I expected more from a 94 rated player when he's on good form. He tried to chip Julio Cesar, and that's really never going to happen in the year 2010. Julio Cesar, one of the best keepers in the world, but our build-up play is starting to actually get pretty good to watch now. Alessandro Pato getting another one-on-one, and Cesar yet again being too good of a goalkeeper for us. And then just before half-time, Gattuso would win the ball high, Lucio would smash into him, and then somehow Pato's not even forced a save from Cesar into the second half. And as it stands, Inter Milan and Jose Mourinho are winning the title. Milito could have secured it right there. That was actually such an easy chance. I don't know how he's missed that. They'd get another chance. Milito again, 89th minute. Abbiati would spill it and Milito would tap it straight past him. He celebrates like it doesn't really matter to him, but that means, as things stand, they are going to be the Serie A champions. A terrible day for AC Milan. We've only got a few more seconds left of the game. Pirlo passes it to Jankulovski. He finds Ronaldinho, Ibrahimovic, and that's an equaliser. It's not going to be enough to deny them the title, but I guess at least we're going to deny them winning the title by winning the match against their rivals. So it was a pretty nice goal, honestly. Ibrahimovic's 23rd of the game. We hoofed it long, and that was going to be the end of the match, the end of the season, and also the end of our time at AC Milan. Of course, leave suggestions where you want me to head for FIFA 11. I'll be making that video very, very soon, but thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed a little dive back into FIFA 10, and I'll see you soon for the rest of the mega career. Cheers and goodbye.